fish, not in a river, and vegetables, not in a farm. The American School of Douala has taken project-based learning to another level. But exactly what kind of project is this?
So an aquaponics system is made of hydroponics and aquaculture. So if you don't know what that is, and aquaculture is basically the controlled farming of aquatic organisms, and a hydroponic system is just plants that are grown without soil.
Blending science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and business, students from the environmental club decided to seek funding from the school board in order to kick off their aquaponics project.
So about the financing, it was a pretty hard procedure because we had to first, considering we have no experience in this process, we had to get a lot of help from Mr. Donga, and we had to first get a pro forma from the company that was helping us do so.
After approval from the board, the project took off. With the help of their coordinator, Mr. Patrick Donga, the students received training from an aquaponics expert, Mr. Flavian Kwacha from Save Our Agriculture. Theory was followed by practice as they collaborated to build the system. Once the system was up and running, the students put in catfish and lettuce for a start. But how long does it take for lettuce to be ready for harvest?
Well, the time that it took for our lettuce to grow was about 40 days. But in these 40 days, there was a problem that came up, and that's only one side of the vegetable farm is growing the lettuce. So after talking about it in class, we realized that the reason why the other vegetable farm is not growing the lettuce is because it's not like directly in the sunlight like the other vegetable farm. And we were talking about possible solutions, and we realized that the most practical one would be to use artificial lighting. This is a great solution since we can easily set up the artificial lighting over the second vegetable farm. And on top of that, it's a great opportunity for other students to see the difference between natural and artificial lighting.
Over time, the fish and vegetables were ready for harvest. The question is, how will the students recover the money invested in the project?
We harvested organic lettuce and we sold them to teachers for an affordable price, and we thank them for buying it. And for the fishes, we fished them and harvested them, and we gave them, we sold them to parents and also students or teachers that wanted it.
The class equally organized a barbecue on campus. Teachers and other members of staff bought fish from the students, which was roasted on the terrace and enjoyed with some good homemade spices. This, of course, has been a learning process for all involved. But what were some challenges faced by the team?
The feeding process of the fish, it all started up with our general manager actually sorting out who is going to feed the fish on specific days, and then we had lots of inconvenience like the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, and during holidays and breaks, but we kind of figured it out. So feeding the fish, each student had to commit to feeding the fish either in the morning before school starts or during break. We would feed the fish twice a day, and it would usually be 2 different persons per day. We lost fish in a couple of moments. Some fish died and stuff like that, so we had to manage and get other fish. But the process went well, and we learned a lot from that.
To improve their managerial skills, the students visited Agro World Group, a large farm situated along the Sanaga River in Cameroon's littoral region. This large-scale aquaponics system extends over 2 hectares of land with enclosures for pigs, chickens, and goats. Mr. Boris Kamgo, General Manager of Agro World Group, taught the students, among other things, how to feed their fingerlings and how to determine the sex of a fish. The students learned what it takes to expand their small system on campus into a huge project that will positively impact the community.
I found it very nice that they use such big land, and the way they used it. They've got so many fish ponds, as you can see here. They've got a place for pigs to stay, a place for chickens to stay, and they've got some few goats everywhere. And I found it very nice how they use the place and how big the fish are, how big the pigs are. It's like they've maintained the process for a very long time, and it shows a high level of professionalism, and one that I think we should maintain when we are also doing our aquaponics project in school.
Back on campus, the students implemented what they learned and varied their input to include high-end products like strawberries, cherry tomatoes, bell pepper, and tilapia. The process is ongoing and will involve every batch of students who will join the environmental club in the future. In some months to come, we look forward to another fruitful harvest.